I believe it was the 1880s. Austin was set up as a freedmen's community. A lot of African American families moved here and they lived all across town. And then the 1928 plan happened, which was a zoning plan that essentially was designed to concentrate the African American community into one part of town. And so the way that worked is you could live wherever you wanted, but if you wanted the fire department to come when you called, or if you wanted trash service, you probably wanted to live on this one part of town that was designated for that community. So you have a community that essentially got forced to live in one part of town and then kind of systematically wasn't allowed to participate in generational wealth building through home ownership. Then you compound that with other zoning decisions like where industrial things are going, then other decisions like closing schools and closing high schools that have happened over the decades. And it's been a very difficult time for a very long time. And the result of all of those decisions has been black flight from the city, which has been happening for decades. And so we have people that aren't leaving the Austin metro area, but they're leaving Austin proper, and they're going to places like Pflugerville, Georgetown, Round Rock, and other places for cost of living reasons and for a variety of other reasons, including quality of life. So it's a very complicated thing, and that's one of the things that hopefully this project is going to address, some of those underlying issues. Blocks 16 and 18 are the last two parcels that are owned by the city through the Urban Renewal Agency in the Urban Renewal Plan. So these represent the last best opportunities for the city to do something in this area that's going to hopefully address some of the systematic issues that you all are aware of. We have plans to provide for a number of different uses on these blocks. Some things that are going to be more traditional and more needed, like affordable housing, including trying to develop an African American cultural and heritage district, which has been sorely needed for a very long time. I've been part of the Urban Renewal Board for 5 years and the chair for a few, and we've been working on blocks 16 and 18 for several years at this point. So the RFP that we've put out represents the culmination of several years of our work, many more years of city staff work, and literally decades of community engagement. So we're really excited about what might happen here, and we're looking forward to seeing what the development community is going to bring. We're very cognizant of ensuring that stakeholders here have very strong input in the entire process. We've organized a stakeholder working group that's comprised of local residents, business owners, business renters, property renters, local institutions, churches. We want everybody to be at the table during the selection process and as the buildings are going up. And we're very hopeful that that's going to happen. I bought a house on the east side in 2006. And the reason I bought a house on the east side is because when I was looking for a house, if I was looking north or west or south, the prices were between $400,000 and $700,000 for the kinds of houses that I was looking at that were going to be close to downtown within a few miles. But if I went east, it was $200,000 for those same kinds of houses. And so I was trying to figure out why that was happening, and when I went to go look at houses, it was basically just like the neighborhood I grew up in Houston, which was predominantly Hispanic and other people of color. I've been involved in this area for a long time, and I've seen the changes that have happened. There have been wide demographic changes in the census tract where I live, the census tract where this project is, and we've lost quarter to half of populations in the matter of 10 to 15 years, just an alarming rate of gentrification. So over the years, you see houses get torn down and then new houses get put up, and it's not Hispanic families who are moving into them. And then eventually became house goes down and then two houses go up on the same lot, and then it's the same thing. And over time, the nature and character of the neighborhood changes. It's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just a different thing. And so it's more about what is being lost and the fact that it's going to be very difficult to get that character back. And then that has secondary effects about you start losing the businesses that were serving that communities, whether that local carnicerias or taquerias and bars and places where people congregate and come together and that make places a good place to live. You start losing those kinds of things too. And it actually starts leading to a little bit of, some ways, anxiety, because it's kind of, this place is a little different than when I originally got here, and how do I feel about that, and trying to think through that. And no, it's not a bad thing that different people are coming here, but it is changing. And what does that mean, and what are we losing? So I'm very hopeful with Block 16 and 18 that we're going to be able to bring people back. And we're not too late to preserve kinds of uses like what we have here at Kenny Dorm's backyard, and trying to make sure that we have places for these kinds of cultural uses to stay vibrant and stay relevant and to keep communities here in Austin.